Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. I know I missed episode 6, but we are up to episode 7 of Baddies Caribbean. So in this video, it's going to be a little lengthy, but lengthy. It is going to be a little long, but we are going to be recapping episode 6 and episode 7 in this recap. So make sure you go grab your snacks. Make sure you turn that phone on D&D after you like this video and comment. But get your snacks, sit down, settle down, and we're about to talk about both episodes. You know we like to break down every scene, every episode. Zeus does not get away with anything with Eli Brooks on the case. So let's talk about it. But before we even move on to the intro and all that, shout out to Matt for making this really cute Baddies Caribbean after show with Eli Brooks. I am in love with this, and yes, we're rocking with this one for this video because I really do like it, and yeah, I want to know what y'all think too. Like, but you should have known it. Alright, so we start off this episode where we ended off last time, which was basically Jayla and Meatball arguing because Meatball accused Jayla of bullying Biggie. Now, Jayla, this whole scene is just trying to explain to Biggie, like, look, I didn't bully her. She said she was going to slap me, and so anybody that says that to you, you're going to make them stand on that, which is 100% correct, and this is probably the first time that I'm, like, low-key agreeing with Jayla because Meatball, you don't really know Biggie like that to be defending her. So it's like kind of back, step back. And then you got Dia. She back there shaking her head like, yeah. You don't even know Biggie. Girl, you was doing the same thing with Slim and Tinka when it came to DTB. So like, please. And we're going to get into Dia because she likes to do her big one every scene and try to make a moment. And really, I'm kind of tired of it. 1 minute Dia's going this way. The next she's going this way. I just can't.
Bitches, you tripping. I don't like when people don't mind their business. You've spoken to Biggie probably as much as I have spoken to Biggie. You really got no reason to confront Jayla. You don't know Biggie. If you know you can't fight, you don't go around telling nobody you gonna smack them. Wait. No, I feel you. I feel you because you don't care about none of that, bro. Bully me the same way that she does every week. I never got on the internet and said anything negative about her, not one time. I was asked my opinion about a public fight that was on TV that millions of people saw, but at the end of the day, I never bullied her. And I left it right there where it was. Okay. She got on the internet and said she was gonna smack me, and because I am who I am, you gotta stand on what you gonna have to stand on it. Fair.
She had pushed me, and then that's when your friend came in and they started fighting.
My friend who? That's Tinka, my sister.
Tinka. My bad.
What?
Finding out that Meatball and Tink are blood sisters, I just really hope that they can stand strong together.
That's my sister. Like, this ain't no gang, bestie. Like,
so after that, we get a scene of the new girls. They're basically like singing, turning up, trying to show their fun, goofy side. Big Kiva, I'm pretty sure that's her name. I'm starting to get them. But the one with the yellow hair, she's like, look, we're life baddies because we can turn it off, we can turn it on, and we can, handle our business when we need to. And then when we don't need to, we can have fun. And, all I've seen is them getting busy and standing on 10 toes, which I'm not upset about, but I do feel like they're preaching something that they don't practice. So that's kind of interesting. Now, yeah, let's talk about this scene because this really pissed me off. So Tinkerbella, she is still arguing with DTB about that wig. And at some point, and I really hate this for DTB because at some point DTB was really like frustrated about just going back and forth. Wait, no. Before we get to that, let's talk about the other thing. So as you can see, before all of that, I'm so confused why Tinkerbella decided to make a comment about, oh, we got a monkey with us. And I'm really also confused why Sapphire and Natalie didn't address that right in the moment. And I'm also even more confused why people aren't making a bigger deal about that comment, because if it was somebody else making that comment, it would have been a bigger deal. So that is interesting to me.
The beautiful Barbados, and just, and I'm still waiting to see the monkeys. We already went one. Monkeys.
Shit, you crazy.
Well, where they at?
Tell her talk. A former dark-skinned woman is calling
You're being racist to me. You're being racist to me. Tinka and Diamond are going back and forth on.
Now, DTB, at some point, like I said, was tired of arguing, and she decides to apologize, which I hate for her. specifically in this moment. Usually I would say great, go for it, but specifically in this moment, I hate it because Tinkerbella was in confessionals basically saying like, oh, I know she's going to apologize to me at some point, da, 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 da. And unfortunately she did, and it was also in the most weirdest way too, like on her knees, kissing the ground. It was like, I think that was a lot. DTB said that she had to apologize in an extra way because that's just who she is. So I hear what she's saying. Do I understand it? No. But I definitely hear what she's saying.
You're not gonna pay me out to be the bad guy. I call a truce.
You picking with the wrong thing? You can't say that. Oh, my shoulder. Hold on. Diamond.
Hold on.
Wait,
I'm sorry. I apologize. I should have never pulled
back
your
up.
leg. I want to hang out with you, but I don't want no problem. I don't want it to be.
I'm just not going to talk to you.
Absolutely.
You can grab my ass cheeks.
Okay. To be extra and get down on my hands and knees and show you that I have no problem with you, but I didn't get to complete her like I actually wanted to. We gotta fight some more.
So the next scene that we see is Bianca's group. Basically, everyone is kind of like talking, and you can see Aubrey kind of like giving this eye. And then she like jumps in and she's like, y'all not even paying attention that this is my last day. Then she makes some shady comment towards Bianca about her man not being a millionaire. And you could tell that upset Bianca. And to be honest, like, I would understand why, because like, who are you to speak on my relationship? Anyway, I do believe that because Aubrey was leaving, she was a little bit more bold because we didn't even hear her say that much this whole season. Anyway, Jellybean at one point said, you know, I want to be a baddie. And specifically in this clip, I think she looks like a baddie. I think she needs to be a baddie because this screenshot, she eats. Let's watch these clips.
Today, but thank you for noticing. Greedy ass. You guys are greedy. Y'all want y'all are greedy ass. That's why my bank account's bigger, because I give people space to move and I take their money while they're moving.
Listen, my nigga millionaire. I gotta.
Girl, how many times are you gonna say that? You would not be here if your man was a millionaire. He's lying to you.
He's definitely not.
Your man's lying to you.
His artist just went gold. They
No,
got the number
baby,
one
that
record.
does not equal money.
Yes, it does, because they got a $3 million deal.
I don't know. For some reason, I feel like Aubrey was really just feeling herself this episode. She was saying things that she wouldn't usually say. And Bianca allegedly is coming out with claims that Aubrey was nasty towards other baddies, like attitude-wise. Also, allegedly, she like put her saliva and stuff in people's food. Look, if it's true, it's true. I don't know. That's why I said allegedly. Moving on. So we get to the next scene, and Natalie's like, everyone, we're going to the top. We're going to view some pretty views. We're going to enjoy the scenery. And it's like, girl, be for real. Okay, so as each group makes their way up to the top, you got the OG girls there first, then you got the new girls up there, and for some reason, you could just tell that it was going to be an interesting scene. We know that the new girls needed to get their spots, so it was kind of like, is it going to happen now or later type of thing, because it was going to happen at some point. Now, this is the part that it gets interesting, because the way that we're introduced to the scene is Natalie, of course, you know, she wants to give her famous speech, and she does something interesting behind the scenes I think we need to talk about. So basically what we see from a fan or a viewer perspective is that right now they're just talking about their issues, right? But it actually leads into something way bigger. So the first person that we see actually bring up an issue is DTB with Slim and Dia, and she feels like Slim and Dia are picking sides with Tinkerbella, and this is basically what happened.
What issue? What issue you got with me and we ain't said 2 words to each other? Make sense.
When we first got in the house, we was cool. We was cordial.
So DTB, I really do like DTB. I like her music. I like her personality. I think she's real. And so her addressing Slim and Dia in this moment was very interesting, and it was like a, yeah, you better like stand on your 10 toes. Like, let people know you don't need to have people behind you to stand what you believe for.
You don't have to be in this situation.
I'm never a follower. Like I said, I just chose the side and said.
Okay, so if you chose a side, that means that you don't
like this. Until y'all see watch y'all issue, I can't.
Fake as and they're being followers and lapdogs.
So in the midst of DTB, Dia is just very upset. Dia feels like she wants to address the issue. She feels like she's not a follower. She wants to make sure people know, like, girl, I am not a follower. In short, what Dia was trying to say was, I got introduced to Tinkerbella before you, and I liked her vibe. She treated me well, and that's really what Dia was saying in a bunch of words.
certain type of love. And I mean, besides that, principle, like I told you sitting at the table, I didn't feel like trying to get on the show was a reason to hit her. Like I told you, I stand on principle.
She keep trying to say like, oh, I pulled her hair.
All right, so if you know DTB, you know, and if you don't, we gonna learn today. She don't like too much talking, and Dia was doing a lot of talking. So DTB swung on Dia. That was the whole thing. They went about like I think 2 or 3 rounds until she ended up fighting Nunu, and that was her last round. That was Dia's last round. One thing I find very interesting is Dia and Biggie. A lot of people say like, you know, I'm not a fighter, but I'm gonna fight for my respect. And I get that. I get that. Trust me. But it's also like, don't put yourself in situations to start bleeding and get hurt because you want to stand on business. We could use words. Like, we could talk about it and maybe a swing or two. But at the end of the day, like, y'all need to protect y'all faces. Like, it just seemed like y'all just be fighting and getting hurt and bleeding just because Natalie's watching. And it's like, girl, she's not going to pay for your whatever you need because you're hurt. Like, let's be real. Also, is it just me or like, why are there wigs on top of their heads like that? Like helmets. It's okay.
Fuck. All y'all hoes collided.
Now, this is like DTB's second, third round, and she's trying to solve all these issues. But remember when Tinkerbella and DTB made up? Yeah, for some reason, Tinkerbella forgot about that, even though it just happened. And Tinkerbella and DTB have another round. They just made up, a couple minutes ago. So I'm so confused why we're even at this point. But then again, here we go with the kicks. Like, it's like everyone wants to kick. This one didn't hit, obviously. Then we also have Dia. She tried to kick at some point. And Dia trying to kick it too is like, girl, you can't even fight. So it's like you trying to kick is making everything even worse. You got everyone looking on the side. It's really kind of embarrassing, to be honest, because it's like you went round after round after round after round. And it's like everyone's just kind of looking at you. And I don't mean for DTB's point of view, because it's like she's standing on business. But it's like everyone else, they're just wanting to pick a fight, and it's honestly, it's just embarrassing for everyone in the whole situation. Let's leave it at that. Okay, so now at this point, right, JL, she walks up and she says she got an issue. She wants to talk to Meatball because she's like, Meatball, do you really think I jumped you? And Tinkerbella, you know, we just found out that they're blood sisters. That's what they're both claiming. So at this point, Tinkerbella's like really just sticking up for Meatball. And Tinkerbella's like, no, I'm the one that hit you because I saw you was about to fight my sister. And if you about to fight my sister, I'm about to jump in too. This is what Tinkerbella said, right? So then basically JL and Tinkerbella are like, look, let's settle this issue. Let's fight. We can hug it out at the end. Ba-da-da. Very strange. Let's talk about how Tinkerbella just keeps ripping off her wig every time she's fighting. But she's mad that DTB ripped off her wig. Girl, it literally, y'all said, all right, you want to get it over with? And you quit to take off the headband and rip off your wig. So stop acting like you're mad at DTB. You're just using DTB for a storyline at this point. We know it. And then we have Aubrey acting like she still knew the Baddies, like she's still shocked about what's going on. Like, girl, you know what was going on. Even Meatball was confused about what was going on because Meatball's like, why are y'all fighting over nothing? It just seems like y'all just keep fighting and there's honestly no resolution. And I could totally get where Meatball's frustration comes from because it's like, we're supposed to be making money. So if you have a real issue, settle it. But if you don't, why are we making fake issues for the cameras? Like, that's kind of strange to me now. So we're almost done, but then Nunu steps up and Nunu says, no, I have an issue that I want to press. And then Dia steps up right after Nunu does. And Dia claims it's her, that she claims she stepped up to have an issue, but really it was Nunu. We see that in the camera. Don't play her. So in this scene, Nunu makes a comment about how she should be a baddie because she is a baddie. And this confessional, I definitely agree. Like, she looks bad.
That's cool, but like I said, I wanted your spot, so I did what I did. I'm not sure if she wanted an apology, but I'm never apologizing for how I feel. That's just like saying sorry for being real. Because I know I did you dirty, so I'm asking you, did you want your lick back, or is it good? That's it. I like my lick back. All right, hold on, wait.
Okay, so I'm convinced that this season's theme is taking off the wig. Basically, Dia is claiming that Nunu hit her while she was fighting Gretchen, and Nunu said that she did. She said it was just business, and she said if you feel some type of way, we could settle it, but she makes it clear that her hitting her was just for business.
All right, hold on, wait, bitch.
Nunu took the wig off. She said, bitch, yes. I did it because I wanted to. If you want to fight me over it, let's do it.
See, so I really do love Dia's confidence here, right? Because Bianca makes a face when Dia says, "Ask about me." And it's funny for multiple reasons because Bianca is a reality TV girly, so she knows that they're going to use this clip. So after all of the rumbling is done, Natalie says that we're about to start picking the new girls for the house. Like all of the replacements, we're going to pick who's going to be here. But then all of a sudden, Aubrey's like, "Hold up. You ain't give me a chance to confront my issue." At first, I thought she was being serious. I was like, hold up, who's she gonna address? Then she started talking about, you got a show on Zeus, and I was like, scratch, scratch, Natalie? And then I realized it was a joke once they started to laugh, but some of the people actually thought it was serious, like some of the cast, especially Jayla. You could see her face. She thought it was for real.
First of all, you didn't ask if anyone else had issues because I have an issue.
Who's your issue?
Can I square up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Aubrey.
So I just want to let y'all know I've been having a problem with this bitch from the very beginning. She thinks she's better than me. She thinks she runs this shit. Like, oh, she has a show on Zeus. The fuck? I don't give a Natalie, now get the right here.
She says she want to square up with me, but I'm like, oh, bitch, do you want to get damaged? Drop your phone bag, bitch.
I honestly do wish that we would have saw more of Aubrey's personality like we saw in this scene because it really showed her like fun side and not just her like bougie side, can't fight, held by security all the time. Like it showed a different side. Okay, so this scene was funny and cringy at the same time. It was funny because it showed their personality, right? But it was cringy because all of the other girls were looking at them like, okay, we know this is fake. But I really do hope that they took that in and realized that in most cases, that's how they look in some of the episodes because it's like you're fighting and it's a joke. Like you're fighting because you don't like each other. But in real life, that's not what happens. So basically, we start to pick the new girls and Aubrey wants to give her personal pick. Now, I had no idea who Aubrey was going to pick as her personal pick because it was kind of like she had this weird vibe towards everyone. Allegedly, she was like spitting in people's food. So I just didn't think that she was rocking with anyone. But Aubrey descends. Aubrey decides to pick Big Kiva because she feels like she just stood on business. And I don't have no personal opinion about that because, I'm still getting used to the new girls and it takes me a minute to really rock with them. So Big Kiva claps, big claps to her, like congratulations. Now, Natalie ends up picking Jellybean and what's her name again? Dia. She's really upset about that because she's like, I feel like you a follower. I feel like you this. I feel like you picked a fight with me. You want clout, all that. And it's kind of like, Dia, please. Like, quick correction. It was actually Nunu that Natalie picked that Dia had a problem with. Natalie also did pick Jellybean. That only person that had a problem with that was Tasiki. But yeah. Natalie also picked Jo, which was kind of obvious because Jo was always standing on business, always making a good scene. So, yeah. And, I feel like Dia, she's kind of being a hater because she said she would have picked Heaven over Nunu, but that's just her being a hater. Now, I don't remember her name fully. I know she has her name on her chain, but the lights are kind of messing it up. But I really wish that she did get picked because she is really pretty. Alright, so I had to come back and post editing because I realized I never talked about this point. But basically, DTB dropped a video and said that all of the girls that were picked were actually handpicked from the girls who were already in the house. So, for example, she was basically saying that they all, well, not for example, what she said was that they all gave in their vote of who they wanted to move into the big house. But in the actual show, it just makes it seem like, Natalie was picking and it was whoever was the rowdiest. So that's just to add on to the fact of you being a viewer and also knowing more details because it's like it was basically the Hunger Games at that point. Aubrey says her goodbyes. Aubrey's like, peace, y'all. I'm going to see y'all soon. It's been fun. I mean, I guess. Like, I wish I would have seen you more, but okay. And then the next scene that we see is Biggie heading to dinner with Tommy, Tasiki, Mariah Lynn, and Callie. Now, this scene was very, very, very out of the blue, felt forced, but it was cute to watch. It was cute to listen to. It was cute to see, the edits, da. But it was just kind of like a dinner. Like, you guys don't really do dinners that much, so this was kind of awkward. Or, I wouldn't say awkward, but just out of the blue. Yeah. Okay, so I'm really excited that Callie is getting her way back into scenes, getting back into the house. I really do like Callie, the scenes that I have seen of her. Even though she was fighting Nat, I feel like they need to sit down and talk about it, and that could really help clear a lot of things up because I see both point of views. But if I could talk with Callie, I would tell Callie, girl, you come in a little bit too hard. Um, but let's move on because it's not about what I would tell them. So I don't know what Tommy's luck is when it comes to Zeus, but for some reason she just always has some type of like tension with security or tension with the mall or tension with the producer. And I would love to say that it could be a mixture of both of them, but for some reason I do feel like it's Tommy. I don't know.
Hi, baby. Hello. My baby. Big Biggie. I love Biggie. That's gang. Y'all know I love Biggie. Like, come on now. That's my protege. Tasiki's cool. I fuck with her. I fuck with Mariah. Mariah's cool.
I love the paint.
Nice to meet you. We didn't get the memo, didn't the memo. We would have dressed for the occasion. We didn't get the memo.
Ooh.
So in Baddie style, nothing really major was talked about. It was just like, why you have an issue with her? You look cute. I miss you. Da, da, da. So I'm gonna give you the Brooks recap. Basically, Tommy is saying, we're looking dumber and stupider every time we do this fighting on TV. I actually don't know if she said stupider, but I know she said we look dumb because I don't think stupider is a word. It isn't. But she definitely was like, we look dumb doing this. We look dumb fighting on TV. This is not what we do in real life. We all have businesses. And I definitely agree. But when are we going to make the change that's needed? You know what I mean? We keep saying that we look dumb. We keep saying that we have more to offer. We keep saying that we have businesses to protect. But what are we doing to see that?
Fucking a drug that I ain't never even used. Like, be for real. Never snorted in my life. So, yeah, we carrying on with this shit, but this shit was last year. Yeah, because this ain't for y'all. Dinner over. Can I get a Chardonnay?
So I'm not really paying attention to most of the conversation that Biggie and Tommy are having.
All right, so Tommy's claiming that Natalie's trying to be like her. And then Tommy gives gifts. And that's kind of cute. We didn't really get a chance to see what the gift actually was, but everyone seemed content, so go off. I'm going to touch up on this really quickly and then we're going to move on. The reason I'm not touching up on it too much is because it's, that's something I would do. But the way that Tommy reacted to the people behind her saying, let's go, and they got up and left is me. Because why are you being so loud to the point where you actually want me to hear you? And now I'm going to actually say something back. Now, you might be thinking, wait, whoa, what's going on? So what I'm going to do is if I remember, I'm going to copy and paste the video of that clip. I'm going to put it in after this, and then I'm going to just put text. Let me explain the whole video in the video. Because basically what had happened was Tommy was talking. She was talking about how the accusations of Nat, and basically, she was saying, I don't do that. And the people, the family behind them felt some type of way. They were like, whoa, like, why are you, why are you saying all that? Which is understandable. But in the conversation, obviously, I'm not a professional lip reader, but from what I gathered, basically the conversation was like, oh my gosh, do you hear that? The lady facing the camera was reacting to, at the end of the conversation, one of the girls or one of the ladies was like, are you ready? And then they got up and left and Tommy went off.
I feel like this ain't what you want. You bitches is running around, putting up a facade, trying to be something that you're fucking not. And I'm not on that. And I got shit to lose. You understand me? This Tommy shit. Y'all know what the fuck it is. I'm dipping. I'm out. You dig?
Okay, so the beginning of this scene was actually really interesting because if you pay attention, right, they're all sitting here acting like they just randomly were sitting here. Biggie's like, Biggie, oh my God. Meatball is like, do you hear someone coming? Natalie comes from the right of the screen. She's like, shut up. She's joking with Meatball, like, girl, you know I've been here. And then Natalie makes a comment and basically is like, we've been here she either is like, we've been here all day or we've been here for a while. Basically saying like, yeah, this scene was set up. Anyway, so basically in this scene, Natalie is talking about how she's upset that some people didn't come to the nature walk, which was Biggie, Tasiki, Marilyn, and Callie. Everyone's saying hello. Everyone's just getting to know each other. You have the new girls on the left side. You have a few of them in the middle, and then you have most of the OGs on the right. And then Biggie and everyone else come in.
Y'all hear somebody coming?
Shut your ass up. Oh my God, it's Natalie's We've been here. No, oh my God, it's Natalie's No, shut the... After our nature walk, I decided to call a house meeting before we go out to the club. Gretchen is at a hotel healing and will not be joining us. To be honest, I feel some type of way about the other girls that didn't join us on the nature walk.
So a part of me understands why Natalie was upset, but then again, I'm pretty sure it was just producers who told Biggie and them to meet and have dinner. So I hope that Natalie actually isn't real life upset about the situation, because then it basically would be letting producers get the best of them and allowing them to feel like, okay, I can make these girls upset if I schedule separate events, which is true, but I feel like they should be able to see through that and not let that, be the root of all their issues. So everybody that went to that dinner finally walks in. They're saying hello. Biggie sees all the new girls. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. And out of nowhere, Tasiki runs up on Jelly Bean. And to be honest, I'm so over Tasiki just being upset about Jelly Bean standing next to her man. And Tasiki is known for switching up her words, so that don't even make sense. But instead of her explaining her point of view and all of that stuff, it's like we can't even really trust it because she be switching up her words. And Jelly Bean is a new baddie, so it's kind of like we take her words with a grain of salt, and it's very delicate. We don't really take her word as stamped yet, So anyway, I'm tired of Tasiki just always jumping on people and fighting them. It's like, girl, I was not with that. But let me know your comments below. What do you think of that scene? Was it just me that was off, or was it actually off? Alright, so next we have Biggie basically explaining to Natalie, look, this is why I was not feeling you. This is why I feel like you're fake. They talked it out. They did what they needed to. And then Biggie started to address Jayla and was like, look, this is why I have an issue with you. And Jayla was able to give her point of view and explain why she was frustrated with Biggie and why she hit Biggie. Biggie explained why she felt like it was a diss. Biggie even did clarify. She's like, look, you didn't sneak me, but it felt like a mental sneak, which I understand. She wasn't even mentally prepared for that. Even after they apologized to each other, you wouldn't think that would happen after that. So I get that. Okay, so at this point, Natalie is over the beef, surprisingly. She's ready to go. She feels like they don't need to be arguing. They need to get ready for the club, which, okay. Look, for me, after all that arguing, yelling, screaming, a hot meal and a nap, or actually a sleep. Hot meal and go to sleep. That would be what was best for me. But nah, baddies, they have a warm up. They argue and then they go out. And that's exactly what they did. So they end up going out. All their fans are there to support them, which was an amazing thing to see. I'm like, okay, look at y'all thriving. And everyone in the Barbados knew them. Everyone was supporting them. They had a great time outside. We were able to see some of the new girls show their personality. We were even able to see some of the OGs, have a good time, because we haven't seen them, honestly, in a club setting or even in a hosting setting altogether in a while, which is interesting. But, they've just been showing us more of the drama than anything else, which, of course, obviously, we tune in for, but we also want to see them have fun and, do what they do, in the setting, in their, natural environments, you could say. After Baddies West, every time they're at a club, I always get anxiety. I'm like, oh my God, something's going to happen. This is how they're going to end the episode. Da, 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 da. And so when we see the next on, whole preview thing after this scene, low key, I was like, oh my God, something's going to happen or no? But nothing happens. We just see next on. And as you know, we like to go over the trailer for next week. So let's do that. Real quick, the first thing that we see is Slim, Jayla, and Sapphire in the room talking about how they're, going on the trip with all the new girls. Jayla makes a comment to Sapphire, and Sapphire goes, they are, in a very shady way, which is Interesting. So if you're new to this channel, you know we always go through each screenshot of the trailer and then I play it at the end. So when you watch it at the end, I want you to pay attention to that comment that Sapphire made, which was, "They are," and it just sounded very shady. But moving on. We see Scotty freaking out because she can't find her passport, and girl, I understand that struggle, not being able to find it, but just being able to get it. So, and how strict they are with how you need it to get in and out of places. So I can't even imagine how stressed she was. And I really do hope that Natalie had her back and supported her, even though the clip that Natalie posted makes it seem like she didn't care. But, you know, it's just a clip, so I hope it's not true. Next, we see Jayla on the plane addressing the Gretchen situation and how Gretchen bit her, and it makes Jayla very emotional. And I'm sure there's more to the scene. I hope there's more to the scene. I hope that the fight isn't the thing that's making her cry, as though I could understand why the bite would, but I hope that the fight isn't, because it's just really not that serious. Now, in this next scene, we see Natalie on FaceTime with Asian Doll. We get informed that they're going to Puerto Rico, or at this point, they're in Puerto Rico. I'm excited to see Asian Doll. I like her music, but she is very problematic most of the times. So I'm hoping that she leaves a good impression, because I would hate to, you know, not like her as much because she makes some shady or weird movements on the show. Because yes, it is a show, and yes, it is edited, and yes, there is producers, but 95% of the material is a person. You can only edit what they're given. And so if you act a certain way, they can't change the way that you acted. They can only edit with what they were given. So I just hope that, you know. Next, we have DTB sitting down with Sapphire and Slim, and DTB is standing on how she felt. She said, "Look, I feel like you, Slim, and Dia are followers." I agree with that statement, but at the same time, I do feel like if they were her friends and her friend had an issue with someone, of course, naturally, you should side with your friend. And if they weren't close with DTB, it's like, girl, we weren't close with you. We didn't even know you like that. But at the same time, in that same sentence, you don't know any of them. You just met them like last Friday and it's Saturday night. Even DTB said at some point, like, this is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th episode for y'all, but this is the first week for us. So this is why I felt very strong about what I was saying, because it's the 3rd, 4th day and y'all are like, Dia, beat DTB up. And you don't even know either one of us. So yeah, that was a rant, but that's how I feel. So then we see Gretch and Callie talking, and I really hope and had so much hope that in this conversation, Callie is able to just knock some sense in Gretchen so that Gretchen can hopefully get back on the good side of majority of the people in the house, because we didn't even see much about her. Like, this whole her saying the N-word storyline got old real quick. So in the next scene, we see Gretch is talking to the house about the issue, how she just felt like she wanted to talk and she didn't feel like anyone was listening to her. But her and Meatball have too much tension for that conversation to happen. And yeah, we see them end up fighting. So let's watch this clip for next week and then we'll talk.
Puerto Rico! We got all of these new girls coming with us. Yeah.
I can't find my passport. I'm stuck in Barbados. It's not even fun.
Where am I supposed to go now? I don't know what we're gonna do with the Gretchen situation. You are saying nigga. It's not a term of endearment for people outside of the black race to use. And then moving forward, she bit me.
That shit's so crazy. Don't cry.
We finally arrived in Puerto Rico. It is dope as can be. Cuando este sol suba, coño.
Look at Asian dolls here.
Miss Diamond, you know we was on top of the fucking mountaintop, and you had a problem with me and Miss Dia about the friendship we have with Tink.
I think that you guys were being followers.
You kind of going through the same thing I was going through.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm me, and whoever gonna respect it, gonna respect it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you don't.
I do want you to take accountability.
I felt like I was being attacked by everybody and anybody. I just came in and I just got socked.
By who?
Boom.
Ronnie.
So what up? What the fuck is good, bitch? What's good?
Before we move on to episode 7 recap, make sure you like this video. Comment below what you thought of that recap and what you thought of episode 6. Did you like episode 6? Did you not like episode 6? Let's get into episode 7. Alright, so at the beginning of episode 7, we see Biggie and everyone explaining how they're leaving the Bahamas and they're heading to Puerto Rico. Everyone is given a cute little scene about how they feel packing their things, and let's take a quick look.
So it's finally time to leave Barbados behind and head to the next country. Donde a mí me entienden, coño, okay? We're going to Puerto Rico!
So we get a quick scene with Slim and Tinka basically packing their things, giving their quick da-da-da. Then we see Natalie, giving her, we're going to Puerto Rico, that moment ting. Then we see Sapphire and Jayla, they have a quick scene, right? And they bring up the fact that everyone's luggage is downstairs. Now, I point this out because I'm going to come back to it later, so just put a pin in that. But basically, Sapphire is like, we brought our luggage downstairs. Jayla's still packing. She makes a comment about, this is a man's job. Jayla also makes a comment about the private PJ, their private jet. And basically was like, we're flying, PJ style. I don't know about the other girls. And, the comment that she made about this is a man's job, it's a very interesting topic because I'm pretty sure if I asked another question, it would end up contradicting what she said, but we're not going to talk about that. Let's look in the scene I have because I did screen record this scene, and let's take a look.
It's just not enough space. It's not. Let's just be real about it. I know that me and my girls are hopping on a PJ. The rest of the girls, I can't speak for them. I think they're flying commercial, but we don't know that life, so. It's bad enough we already got to be around a bunch of strangers. He hit Biggie in the nose.
All right, y'all. So in this next scene, we see them, I guess, at an airport. It also looks like they're outside the Airbnb, but so be it. Anyway, Scotty's talking about she can't find her passport and she's already packed her bags and they're in the car. Now, unpin what I told y'all to pin before because remember, Sapphire said they brought their bags downstairs. Now, Scotty is saying that her bags are in the car and she can't find her passport. Then in a few scenes or like in a few minutes, we're going to see that someone got her passport. Now, I'm sure that time passed is editing, but what's interesting is that when Sapphire says they brought it downstairs, it makes everyone think, okay, well, they're already packing the luggage on the plane, so how is she going to find it? Then brings up the question, did somebody have her passport the whole time and was just playing quite like games with her? That has been talk online, but those are all just allegations. But I am bringing that topic to the table because I want to know what y'all think. Do y'all think that she really lost her passport and they found it? Or security or someone around there took it to play games on her? Now, in the initial scene, Natalie did not seem too considerate about the situation. She did say in her confessional, she was like, look, we can't wait for you. So if you can't find your passport, we're going to have to leave you here type of thing in her confessional, right? But then Natalie did post something on her Instagram and basically was like, you guys know this was a joke. I would never leave Scotty. I would never leave my friend, which goes back to what we talk about a lot on this channel, which is basically like the blueprint of reality TV, right? And basically just for the reality aspect, there needs to be something that catches people's eyes in this aspect of drama in a sense. So taking real life drama and basically amplifying it, right? So we have to remember that with Natalie. So I see people throwing hate and like, oh, this is why you're never her friend. And it's like, are you remembering that this is Zeus Baddies Caribbean? Like, please remember that. Like, even Scotty at some point was laughing when she was kind of quote unquote upset, which makes me question, like, was this for a scene or was that just how she was reacting under pressure? But then a few scenes later, we do see that, I don't know who her name is, or now we do, but I didn't at the moment. One of the producers had found her passport and they bring it to her. And then we see a confessional of Jayla and she basically says, Mama Mo came in clutch and brought the passport. So shout out to Mama Mo. In this next scene, we have all of the girls heading onto their private jets. We have DTB flying with Natalie, Jayla, Sapphire, and Scotty. And at this moment, I was really glad, right? Because it made me think, okay, for a second, I thought Natalie prefers DTB over Tink. Not saying that Natalie needs to prefer one over the other, but, you know, in certain situations, you're going to have to pick. So in my head, I was like, all right, she picked DTB. But we're going to come back to that. So put a pin in that. Because, yeah. All right. Natalie says, as OGs, you know, we all on the plane and you guys deserve this. Now, DTB, you know, she's not going to leave it out. She decides to make a shady comment about how the other girls weren't on the plane. And right at that moment, Natalie basically made it clear that the reason DTB was on the plane was because there's so much tension with her and Tink that they needed to be separate. And that was the end of her addressing that. Which, in short, with not too many words, but enough words, meant it was either going to be DTB or Tink, and it just happened to be DTB. I'll take that. Moving on. So the other girls, they get a black jet, which actually is really, really cute, but I'm not going to lie. The jet actually looks super packed. I think they should have split it up a little bit more because that black jet looked like anybody jumped, fumbled, anything at all. The plane was going to go down, but we're going to move on because tell me I'm wrong. It looks packed. Okay. So basically, they're all just talking, they're all bonding. Mariah Lynn seems to be the shining personality of the plane. She's the one cracking the jokes. Moving on to the other plane, we have, you know, DTB making her little jokes, making her comments, her viral moments. I'm telling you, it's going to happen because she definitely... Oh, that's Tink, but also DTB. They also have viral moments. All right, so Sapphire, she starts to ask basically about Gretch, and Natalie makes it clear that Gretch is taking a whole separate plane to Puerto Rico because she don't want no fighting on the plane. And then we go to a conversation where Jayla starts to talk about her issue with Gretch, and she's very emotional, and she's at a point starts to cry because of her bite. And she says, you know, it's really hard to look at it every day, and I totally get that. But also, you know, I'm going to always be fair and I'm going to always be real. Yes, I understand that it's hard to look at, but you put yourself in that situation. So, with that being said, it was an emotional moment, and yeah, we kept moving on. All right, y'all, so we're finally in Puerto Rico, and let me just say this. I love these movie intros with this song and the little scenes. It's different from the other episodes, and I definitely hope that they keep that aspect, because, yeah, it's cute. All right, so we finally... Whoa, before we even talk about the house, I want to talk about Sapphire, because I have a bulletin in my notes talking about Sapphire / Top Baddie, because have y'all noticed that Sapphire has been in the front of every group, every scene, every episode? Even if the issue has nothing to do with her, she is in the front with the cast, or whatever the situation is, she's in the front. She's not wasting no time to get her name out there. And I love that for her. She came into Baddies at like a really interesting point because she came in when a lot of the OGs were either leaving, got kicked off, decided not to come back. She came in around that point. So it was almost a point where it was like, all right, we need fresh baddies and you want to do it, so let's do it type of thing. All right, so before we move on to the next scene, this is going to be a fun test because I was told that this person watches my recaps and we're going to see if that's true or not. So anyway, as you can see in the back, shout out to Noah, and you see Lamar on the back. Yes, you're probably like, who are that or whatever. No, you need to know. Noah is part of security. He wanted to, yeah, he's him. And then Lamar, he's him too. He's the creator of Zeus. So if you don't know them, we need to talk about that. But anyway, once we go on to the next scene, we see shots of the house that basically look like the House of Traitors or the House of Villains. And this is the Baddies' house. So I was very impressed. But you could tell that the girls were also like, wait, is this where we're staying? Now, you know Natalie got the exclusive room with the big bed. Everyone loved the room. And, you know, it was basically a suite, basically a whole apartment. It had like a kitchen, a bathroom within the house, which was also impressive. In that same scene, we also see the other girls get introduced to their rooms, and we see Tasiki, Mariah Lynn fighting about a bed and all that extraness. Now, in the next scene, we see Natalie, Slim, basically gonna have an interaction. Now, last week when we reviewed the preview, I didn't know Natalie was in this scene because it only showed Slim, Sapphire, and DTB. But basically, Slim is just sitting on the couch. Natalie walks up to her. Sapphire comes behind her, and so does DTB. Now they start talking about the trip, about their experiences. Have they ever been to Puerto Rico? Blah, blah, blah. Feel their conversation. And then Slim basically stops the conversation and says, I want to talk to DTB. And she's like, Natalie said something about spicy. And she goes, well, to be spicy, I want to address something. Everyone thinks it's going to be a rumble. Basically, DTB addresses what Slim says. And she says, I do think you were being a follower. Slim says she's a good friend. She was loyal to Tink. And that's what I told y'all last week. I told y'all that Slim was just probably vibing with with Tinka a little bit more. Probably friends spoke. They feel like they're close. Slim literally says that exact thing. Moving on. We also learn in this scene that Dia has to take a different route in order to get to the Bahamas. Wrong. Take a different route to get to Puerto Rico because she had passport issues and her passport was from the Bahamas. DTB says that she is not going to be done with Slim until she feels like she completed her. And Sapphire's like, what you mean complete? And then Slim goes, well, I feel like I've completed her because I left without a scratch. And this is the exact moment that the editors decide to be shady and put a clip in of her having a scratch at the fight.
Oh, you'll know.
I felt very completed because I left out of there without a scratch.
You're gonna get completed.
At this point, Natalie announces that Asian Doll is coming in. Slim, she's excited because she says she's a rapper, so she's excited to see the other rappers there. DTB, for some reason, she has beef with Asian Doll, or not beef, but a quote-unquote question. She's upset that Asian Doll unfollowed her at some point, so she said that's the question she has. Why you unfollow me? Now, they end the scene. The scene was pretty funny, actually, the end of it, because we know that when the baddies have dinner, they never eat. And so Sapphire is like, you know what? I'm going to eat before we go to this dinner because I'm tired of chips and Casamigos. And I'm like, I'm sure you are, because that's not the first time we've heard that either. We've heard that from who? Other girls in East and West. I remember hearing that. I just can't put a name to it. I feel like maybe Rolly, Biggie. Yeah. I feel like Biggie said that. If I could find the clip of that, I'm going to put it in. Okay, so the next scene that we see is Callie and Gretch talking, and I was really intrigued to see how this conversation would go because Callie's such a strong personality, but so is Gretch. And Callie really, at this point, we get the sense that she wants to diffuse the issue. And she wants to get Gretch to get the full experience, the full Baddies experience. And Callie does say that she felt some type of way about the situation with her saying the N-word. And I really did like how Callie, she wasn't soft on Gretchen and she wasn't trying to let things slide. She was trying to hear her point, but she was stamping everything that she was saying. What do you mean by this? What do you say? What are you coming from when you say this? And I'm gonna put the clip in, but that made me have my respect for Callie. I was like, okay, I see you now. Before I remembered her name already, because she made her mark, so I remembered her name. But if she hadn't done what she did, this would have been like, okay, now I'm rocking with her. But I was already rocking with her, but moving on. All right, so now it's time for Natalie to call Asian Doll and just chat it up, basically to remind her that she's coming, I guess. Anyway, basically on the FaceTime call, Asian Doll does her little intro. She's explaining who she is and why none of the baddies could really sit with her. If that's what yeah, okay. And then basically they start talking about Mariah's beef with Asian Doll, and Natalie makes it very clear that Mariah is going to have to stand on 10 toes about that issue by herself. And I don't think that Mariah Lynn and Natalie are that close, so I can't expect too much. Now, if you don't know who Asian Doll is, she's a rapper, a drill rapper, I think people would consider her. She's from Texas. She's really pretty. I mean, everyone has their own, opinion on what pretty is, but I think she's really pretty and I like her music. I just hope that she doesn't make a fool out of herself on Baddies, which I don't think she will, but we get surprised by a lot of people when they get in front of the Zeus cameras, so we'll see. All right, so now we're at a different point in the day, and we are having another house meeting. The first people that we see are Natalie, Slim, Tink, DCB, and Jayla. And they're bringing up the fact that Gretchen is going to come to the house meeting to talk to people, to apologize. And Jayla's like, look, there's only so much that I can hear from you and, take in because you still bit me. Now, before any of this happened, DCB apologizes to Tink. And she's basically, Tink. And she's basically saying, I I apologize, because at first she was like kind of choking on the word apologize, but and I understood it was trying to be a funny moment, but it was also like, yeah, no. Um, so she apologized and she was like, "Look, instead of pulling your hair, I could have asked you to turn around and we could have done what we did then." Great, thank you. Moving on. I'm really tired of talking about that issue, and it also honestly was going to be a tired storyline for the both of them if they continued it. Now, so before Callie comes in, Sapphire and everyone else comes in with Scotty and everything, and Sapphire has this big pen and this book, and then in confessional she talks about it, and in the book there is a, I guess, piece of someone's wig or weave or something. And I want to know the backstory because the book was meant to write down what everyone says so you could stand on it, da da da. So I'm sure something happens at some point in the season where the wig actually ends up in the book, which I'm excited to hear because that'll probably be the most interesting, the most tea that we've gotten in at least the last 3 scenes, because us hearing them talk about issues that we've seen for 40 minutes is not an interesting scene to me. Callie and Gretch, that was a scene that, okay, I like Callie more, but it gave me nothing moving forward with the conversation. So the book, I think that will be a very interesting moment. But overall, to bring the book to the house meeting, I thought was corny. We're gonna move on because, yeah. And then we have Jayla apologizing to Biggie. Hope that they can move forward because Jayla doesn't have no real issue. And Biggie, I feel like there's a side of her that's over it. And then there's a side that still wants to be there. But the side that's over it is showing. And yeah, I mean, hey, he's still getting that check. So it is what it is. So then Gretch does come in. She apologizes. Natalie is acting like she don't know who hit Gretch because she like, who hit you? Gretch, who hit you? And Gretch, she likes to point. So she points at Meatball. She says, you. Or she says, her. Either one, you about to see the clip. So she says that. She points at her and she's like, you. She hit me. And then we get straight to Meatball and Gretch fighting. And yeah, she gets flung in short.
Get it together.
Well, before they get here, I want to talk to Tank.
Diamond, we're not doing that.
No, I want to. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
It's a good thing. It's a good
Okay,
thing.
for a second, I was about to say, hold on. We're in Puerto Rico.
No.
Shit get good in Puerto Rico.
No. Girl, possible that I can squash my beef with Tank. So, with that being said,
I know you're wondering what this is. This is my big book of What's the Problem. So anytime a bitch act like she forgot what the fuck she said or what the fuck she did, you can find it right here. Now y'all know y'all gotta stand on exactly what the fuck you said because it will be written.
Situation, I felt like I was being attacked by everybody and anybody. I just came in and I just got socked. You feel me?
Socked by who?
Boom. She knows that.
I'm just confused, bitch. I just beat you to but you don't get enough.
Meatball knows that.
Yeah, run it.
Wait.
You.
Run it.
So what up?
Now, if you're new here, one thing I like to say is a picture and go and tell you a lot of things. Now, we know, when I say we, I'm talking about me and all the other goats that follow and subscribe. We know that the actual saying is a picture will tell you 1,000 words. But sometimes a picture don't tell you 1,000 words. Sometimes it just tells you a few things. So these are some quick screenshots that I got that tell us a lot. You can see all their faces. You can see that they're all just shocked and they're like, yeah, no way is this actually happening right now. Which, except Tink, she just loves the aggressiveness and the rah 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 of everything. But everyone else, you can definitely tell their faces. You even see, I don't know who this guy is, but he's kind of making a motion like stop, as if that's gonna do something. Callie, she just minding her business. And you see Natalie worried kind of, but also like, oh, this is good for ratings. And Scotty's like, oh my dear heart, my heart is break. Like she's like, this is a lot. And that's where the episode ends, because as you can see on the screen, we see Next On. Now let's break down this Next On clip and then y'all will see the full video. So the first clip we see, we start off where we ended off, and it's basically Meatball and Gretchen fighting. And now Gretchen, she is eventually going to apologize to Jayla and tell her that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do what I did. I'm sure she says more, but that's all we get in that actual moment. And now we see Asian Doll. She goes to the dinner and she's saying hello to everyone. Meatball, Natalie, Jayla, DTB. They're all like semi-happy to see her. But then when she sees Asian Doll, she's like, you're popped. which was dumb funny. Like, I'm about to use that clip for something because that's funny. But yeah, Asian Doll and Mariah Lynn, they end up fighting. We also see that they're all going to ATV riding, which is basically like those electrical cars, motorcycles. We also see Dia in the scene, which, I mean, I guess. We also see Anna. She's coming back, which I'm excited for, but I do want her to be safe because I know she had an injury that obviously she needed to take a break for. So I need her to be safe. And yeah, they're all doing ATV riding, and it seems fun. It seems like they had a good time. But then at the end of this scene, Natalie seems like she wants to wrap it up. At the end of this scene, Natalie seems like she wants to wrap it up and is like, great job. And that's where we see Mariah Lynn and Asian Doll fighting. Now, as you guys know, in the main trailer for this series, or this series, this is where the trailer ended. So I do believe that next week after this episode, we will get another trailer for the actual series, like from the middle half to the end, because this was kind of what we were leading up to. So I'll find that really interesting to see how they play that out.
This is something that is going to be on me for the rest of my life.
I am very sorry.
What's up, baby?
What the fuck is up? You're a pop, bitch.
What's up? Yeah. What you want to do? What happened? What you want to do? What you want to do?
We're gonna meet up with the girls and we're gonna go ATV riding. But you know we're baddies, right? We don't follow rules.
Damn.
I just wanted to just say I had fun today with you guys. I know. Hold on. I know. Hold on.
All right, y'all. That is the end of episode 6 and 7 of Baddies Caribbean. Thank you so much if you made it to this end. Thank you so much if you made it to this point of the video. I really do appreciate all of your support. Please make sure that you like this video. Comment below your thoughts. Let's have a conversation. And make sure you share this video. Let's get the numbers up there. We almost at 200. And once I'm at 200, I don't know what I'm going to do. But we're going to celebrate somehow, some way, somewhere, someday. Period. That was good. All right. Also, we just want to make sure that you remember, because I'll always remember. So we need to make sure you remember. Make sure you stay true to who you are and be the person that you want to be, not, and I emphasize, not the person that people want to see. And with all of that being said, stay the GOAT that you are, and I'm going to see y'all soon.
All the stars are now aligning.